Welcome to another edition of the Maglite podcast. If it looks a little different, that's because it is. I'm not on some Zoom split screen. I'm actually at Threshold Aviation in their really cool conference room. We got to get some great B-roll of this that we can overlay into the interview because there's so much great stuff and history in here. Mark Lullo, of course, the owner of Threshold Aviation. How are you, Mark?
Doing great, Lou.
I'm glad to finally get out here and do this. We've been talking about this for a couple of years. Of course, you're one of the leading aviation businesses in this county in Southern California. You've got a couple of hundred employees. And tell us about what you do here.
Well, we're in a full-service aviation company. We fly airplanes, and in order to fly airplanes, you got to maintain airplanes, you got to insure airplanes, you got to fuel airplanes, you got to crew airplanes. There's a lot of things that are required in order to get an airplane to go from A to B.
And of course, at the end of life, you part out airplanes, and you've also rebuilt airplanes.
We've done all of that. We've gone all over the world and picked up projects and brought them back here to Chino, California, and rebuilt them, and they continue to fly today.
Well, however, I know your story, so it's a little bit unfair. You didn't necessarily envision this. You served your country in the Air Force, got out, you had your skills as a pilot, and you were just flying planes for people, right? That's
correct. I was in the Air Force from 84 till 90, and I was a T-38 pilot.
Well, thank you for your service, and I know everybody at Maglite would echo that. We're very supportive of our veterans at Maglite. And so tell me sort of how this business evolved.
Exactly that, it evolved. So, my idea was to get an airline pilot job, and I was interested in flying for a major U.S. carrier. My dad had done that, and I kept looking, and they either weren't hiring or didn't like me. So
it happens to me a lot.
Yeah. So I just kept pursuing, and you build a client base, and the client base directs you as to what they need or want. So they wanted airplanes painted, we painted airplanes. They wanted airplanes upholstered, we upholstered airplanes. They wanted to buy or sell an airplane, we went ahead and did that. And pretty soon we had a full service business.
So all those things that you do, and of course you started as a pilot. Now, as a pilot, I see the need, obviously, to have a flashlight. If thinking about when I see pilots like do a walk around with their airplane and that sort of thing. So a flashlight is just standard equipment, correct?
Correct. It may be standard, but it's absolutely a necessity. If we can't see, we can't do our job. So in an emergency, if we were to lose lighting in the airplane, even if all the other systems were normal, we couldn't fly the airplane. We need to be able to see what we're doing.
Now, this is the Maglite Spectrum series. You can see the color is red. And of course, in a closed cockpit situation where you're flying at night, obviously this is going to be easier on your night vision than a bright white light. That's actually one of the key features that we at Maglite about this is it's good if you don't want to harm your night vision. It also is easier to use in an enclosed space like that, and you can see things like topographical maps better and that sort of thing. Could you see a pilot using something like this?
Absolutely. So as you said, it takes the human eye about 30 to 45 minutes to obtain full night vision, right? And what prevents you from obtaining that clarity is any light. Now, red light doesn't cause that to happen, so a pilot can use a red light without sacrificing any of his visual acuity.
Well, we don't want to tax the viewer here with going way long in these podcasts, so we're going to break this interview up into two. So we're going to close this one off here with, by the way, just let people know if they're interested in Threshold Aviation, how do they find you?
We got a webpage. I think it's flytti.
Flytti.com. Yes, flytti.com. Or just Google Threshold Aviation Chino Airport and you can find them there. If you have any questions for Mark, I'd love to get those from you, have them on some other time. Send those to podcast@maglite.com. Podcast@maglite.com. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, thank you.
We got one more to do. Thanks for being here, everybody. Until next time.